From Bali's billionaires' road to private jets, here's what it's like to be a billionaire in Indonesia. Brothers Robert Bam Bang Booty and Michael Hartono are worth more than 4 times what anyone else in Indonesia is worth at $42.6 billion. In 2021, they accumulated an additional $3.8 billion. Divided up, that's over $10.4 million a day. That hefty rise was thanks to rising shares of Bank Central Asia, in which the Hartonos have a majority stake. They bought it from the $8.5 billion Salim family, who lost control of the BCA during the 1997-98 Asian economic crisis. We'll talk more about the Salims later. Bank Central Asia controls 1.28 trillion Indonesian rupiah, or $85.6 billion in assets, by the way. Where did the bulk of the initial family wealth come from? A portly inheritance from their Chinese father, Owe Wee Guan, who founded the Djarum Group in 1951. The Djarum Group manufactures clove-flavored cigarettes. They move an estimated 58.8 billion ciggies a year. That's a lot of cancer sticks. The Hartonos have not gone from rags to riches, but rather from riches to super riches, as they have earned almost 3/4 of their fortune, or $31.6 billion, in the last 11 years. Their family holdings include the popular electronics brand Polytron, which makes scooters, washing machines, and such. The Hantoro family seems fixated on keeping costs very low. That's why many children pick their tobacco in their tobacco fields, a source of great controversy. Anthony Salim leads the Salim Group and has a net worth of $8.5 billion. He functions as CEO of Indofood, an instant noodles big-timer with a revenue of $5.8 billion. The Salim fam also owns a stake in Hong Kong's investment firm First Pacific, which has assets of $5.1 billion across 6 countries. Anthony, like Michael Corleone, is the youngest son of a tycoon, the late Liam Seo Leong, who, like Vito Corleone, was very close to political figures, like former Indonesian President Suharto, who reigned supreme in Indonesia from 1967 all the way to when his house was burned down and he was forced to resign in 1998. Anthony's son Axton is the Salim Group executive director. Oh, and he has a tricked-out $21,000 Hello Kitty Honda Civic. The Star Wars fan is also a sneakerhead, purchasing such collectibles as the $200 Reebok Instapump Fury trainers and a pair of $1,160 Chanel x Pharrell Williams x Adidas original NMD Hue Trails, currently reselling for 10 grand. Middle child Astrid Salim keeps a lower-than-low profile, while the youngest, Alston, went a different way from the family business altogether. He became a fashion designer and cosplayer. Hey, not all billionaires are about yachts and jets. Sri Prakash Lohia is a $6.8 billion man who made much of his fortune with Petrorama Group, producing polyethylene terephthalate, or PET, and other petrochemicals. He moved to Indonesia with his father in the 1970s. Together, they co-founded Indorama Corporation as a maker of spun yarn. Now they make fertilizers, polyolefins, textile raw materials, and medical gloves. Lohia is still the chairman, but resides in London with wifey Seema Mittal. Mr. Lohia is a boss-level old book and lithograph collector, and has the world's second-largest collection of colored lithographs. It takes a $50 million check and $5 million a year to run the Lohia family Sea Pearl yacht by Ocean Co., which they own. The 197-foot, 992-ton vessel comfortably holds 14 guests and 18 crew members. You can't charter it, though, and it's not for sale. The Lohias don't need your dough to support their seafaring habits. And for liftoff, it's another $50 million for his G550 private jet. When he touches down in England from his adopted home of Indonesia, either a $550,000 Rolls-Royce Phantom or a $214,600 Bentley Flying Spur is waiting for him on the runway. Well, that's pretty all right, ain't it? Sri Prakash's little bro Aloke lives in Thailand, where he runs PET polymer maker Indorama Ventures Public Co., or IVL, which rakes in $10.6 billion in revenue. Keep it in the family, you know what I'm saying? Founder and chairman of CT Corp Chairul Tanjung sits on a net worth of $7.9 billion. Through trial and error, Chairul went from riches to rags to super riches. The Jakarta-born entrepreneur knew what it was to lose everything early in life, as his father, A.G. Tanjung, lost his magazine company because of the suppression by the Suharto regime and had to sell their house and cars to stay afloat. His family downscaled their lifestyle to small apartment living, as Chairul started selling all kinds of things while he was studying dentistry at the University of Indonesia. Things like books, t-shirts, medical equipment, and children's footwear. These are all businesses he got into before founding the CT Group with late Sony founder Akip Morita. The CT Group is worth an impressive $12.6 billion and just got a fat $916 million investment from Japan's Mitsui & Co., who intend to grow the CT Group into a multinational corporation. As it stands, CT Corp is best known for issuing credit cards, operating hypermarkets, and running TV stations. $4.2 billion man Boenjamin Setiawan is the 8th richest man in all of Indonesia as of February 2022. He has a PhD in pharmacology from UCLA and used it to found Calbee Pharma in a garage in 1966 with his 5 siblings. It is now the largest pharmaceutical company in Indonesia today, market capped at $5.2 billion. Dr. Boen, as he is sometimes known, controls Mitra Keluarga, which operates 25 for-profit private hospitals and has a market capitalization of $2.5 billion. While his niece Bernadette Ruth Irawati Setiad serves as Calbee Pharma's president, these days, the 88-year-old Dr. Boen devotes his time and money to developing his stem cell and cancer institute. If I was a drug master, how would I spend my golden years? On a sleek, carbon fiber, manta ray-inspired 332-foot, $90 million Nemesis 1 catamaran. Its aviation-style central cockpit looks astonishingly simple, and the unobstructed view of the deep blue would make you feel at one with Mother Nature.